Now, to talk more about this, we're joined by political analyst Dr. Levy Ndou. A very good evening to you, Dr. Ndou. Thank you for your time. I mean, following two failed attempts, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana is due to present his third budget next week. Are we likely to see the budget speech happen next week, looking at all the unhappiness about how much has been spent for the two previous sittings?
Good evening to you, Mpho. Good evening to the viewers at home. Thank you for having me. I think the finance minister has a lot of work to do in front of him, but he goes there from a well-informed and advantageous stance. He has learned that things are not going to be as easy as before. He has also learned that he has to do a lot of consultation. He has also learned that whilst he's the finance minister, he has to work with a variety of people, different political parties, and indeed ordinary citizens who have got an interest in the budget of the country. So my view is that those who consulted with him, those who rejected the budget, those who made proposals to the budget, and ordinary onlookers would love to hear the minister coming up with the budget. My view is that there is a highest possibility that we could see the budget being presented by the minister in any way. They know that if they cannot agree on the budget, especially those that have been opposed to it, they can still use other avenues to express their views.
I mean, the entire debacle around the budget has left provincial governments in limbo, as their own budgets rely heavily on funds from the National Treasury. What's at stake as we look into the pockets of finance MECs?
A lot is at stake, Mpho, because it is not only about the budget. It is about how different political parties are able to manage their relations in government or in parliament, how the other parties, especially those that have individuals who are given responsibilities, extend their hands to other political parties and convince them to agree on party positions. Of course, this also has serious implications on those that are waiting for the monies that are supposed to be allocated by the national government in order for them to be able to run their programs. But at the same time, you also need a situation where Parliament is able to agree and give a thumbs up to the budget, and that is exactly where the starting point is supposed to happen. My view is that politicians are aware that these delays are not good for South Africa, but at the same time, they need to find ways and means to find one another in order for them to move forward.
As you talk about the serious implications, Dr. Ndou, where could we start seeing the impact of these serious implications as we wait? Of course, I mean, we do know that the budget will be unveiled next week, Wednesday, but in the interim, what impact has been felt on the ground?
The budget has got different stages that are supposed to be followed. The budget is also supposed to be the response to the government priorities. So, of course, if there could be areas where monies or resources cannot be allocated as expected, that would have a huge impact. It will have an impact if you do not allocate sufficient resources to the fight against crime and corruption. It would have serious impact if you do not allocate sufficient resources to health. It will have a huge impact if you do not allocate sufficient resources to struggling municipalities that must be able to up their game and provide services to the people. And of course, a number of other social services that are being provided by government could also be negatively affected. But the running of government is central towards how the budget is generally allocated by government.
Yeah. What are your expectations as we look to next week's budget speech, especially considering that, as you and I speak, South Africa's unemployment rate rose in the first quarter of this year? More South Africans are jobless as that rate has increased.
What is very clear is that government has not been able to come with concrete plans that would resuscitate the economy so that it is able to create jobs and ensure that those that are in need of jobs are actually being absorbed. And my view is that whatever the finance minister will come up with, he should be able to speak the language that will talk to the private sector, that will talk to the entrepreneurs, to be able to have the economy resuscitated and playing a role in ensuring that we are able to create jobs. But that, in my view, is quite unlikely because what we have observed in South Africa is that the economy has not been doing well and we are actually expecting more from government. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening and weighing in as we look ahead of the third attempt at the budget speech come next week, Wednesday. Wrapping that up with political analyst Dr. Levy Ndou.